Hello, welcome everybody to the Miami Dolphins 2024-2025 season review, where we talk about, quickly glimpse through all the games that happened, that I recapped, what went wrong, what went right, and let's get things going. So, a decent preseason, 2-1 the preseason. We don't talk much about preseason, but we're getting some reps in. With Mike White, Skylar Thompson, Storm Duck, and everybody that was trying to make a team, and some that ended up didn't. While the rest were in the practice squad and somewhat. The first game of the regular season came with at September 8th with a Battle of Florida matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Jaguars start off good, with ETN making some running plays, but the Dolphins had to make that comeback and win the game with a long field goal by Jason Sanders, as well as Tua finally decided to pick up the pace and throw a deep ball to Tyreek Hill, which we all knew and loved from last season. And speaking of Tyreek Hill, this was, before that, we all know what happened with him getting detained by the police outside the stadium. That was a rough spot. Thursday Night Football, this where I feel like went downhill for the Miami Dolphins. We were getting absolutely pummeled by the Buffalo Bills, and then Tua went for the diving play to try to get the first down towards the end zone, and he ends up getting another concussion of his career. This is a really bad look and a really bad spot for the Tua and the Dolphins, to say the least. This was bad. So he was out for multiple weeks. And the Bills, no shocker at all, win the game 31-10 at home. So Bills Mafia right there was loving it. Of course they would, because why wouldn't they? Dolphins go to Seattle. Not much to say about that one. Only a field goal, and the Seahawks did all they did. Monday Night Football, where the game that I unfortunately attended, Dolphins were absolutely clueless of what they're doing. You're supposed to be the genius head coach, but the play calling was really questioned on Monday night against a Titans team that was 0-3 coming into this game. One of the only wins the Titans have won was against the Dolphins. And that was with backup when Tyler Huntley was going to play. By the way, the starting quarterback for the Seahawks game was Skylar Thompson. He got hurt. So then Tim Boyle came in for the rest of that game. Tyler Huntley made his Dolphins debut in the game between the Dolphins and the Titans. And the Titans, they were rolling over us on Monday Night Football. You saw it. I saw it. We all saw it. We were booing the crap out of the coaching staff. And in the next game, Tyler Huntley plays the next game against the New England Patriots, where they would beat the Patriots at Gillette Stadium nonetheless. And it was kind of saved by a pretty bad officiating, to say the least. But hey, win is a win. Then they go in the bye week. They come back where they should have beaten the Colts. They should have beaten the Colts in this game. No scoring at all in the second half really hurt the Dolphins. It really hurt the Dolphins, because they're really giving up first downs after first downs after first downs. They were bad. They were really bad. This is also the start of what we really see what Jonnu Smith was really made of. Jonnu Smith, his name is starting to come up from the Colts game. Then finally, the game Tua returns against the Arizona Cardinals. This game, absolutely frustrating to watch. It looked like a really good start. It looked like the Dolphins are going to win this game. They were really going to win this game against the Cardinals. They didn't. But yet somehow they didn't. They gave up a safety. Tua was playing good. The issue of why we lost this game, the defense failed us. The defense have failed us in this game. You let James Conner run through everybody, and they won with the Rylands field goal. I was so pissed I was so pissed off after that loss because that was the game that Tua returns. It looked like we were going to have finally some positive motives. We did not. That game really hurt us too. The game that was so close, Buffalo Bills. When the Dolphins had it, Dolphins were actually pretty good in this game. But of course, the Bills would prevail because why wouldn't they at Buffalo? Monday night game between the Dolphins and the Rams. The Dolphins did win this game against Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp at Los Angeles. So big win for them because that keeps the season alive for them. That's only the third win of the season. Okay, third win of the season against the LA Rams, who, by the way, is a playoff team now. Then they go back home, play against the Las Vegas Raiders. Well, we had trouble against Brock Bowers. But the Dolphins defense did do its job, and the Dolphins would win this game 34-19. Jonnu Smith with a really good play from Tua, and Dolphins would win this game. Pretty good win. This would then let them become 4-6. The next game against the Patriots, they did their job. Against the Patriots. They bring in Skylar Thompson. They brought in Skylar Thompson at the end, and then they fumbled it. They fumbled it, and then the Patriots were in business again, and then they brought back Tua out. Talk about quarterback depth that is not that good, right? And then we go to Green Bay for a Thursday night Thanksgiving game where we just flat out stank. We flat out stank in this game, and we lost 30-17. Then we play against the Jets at Hard Rock where we won in overtime. Yay, we beat Aaron Rodgers. That's awesome, right? Jonnu Smith with that walk-off overtime touchdown against the Jets. So that's nice. Then they go to Houston where I say, yeah, the season's pretty much over. This was the game that they needed to win, and they didn't. Tua was performing bad. Okay, I will say that Tua performed really bad in this one. 3 interceptions and a fumble. Not good. Especially against the Texans team that is dominated the AFC South. But then they beat the 49ers 29-17. Not a playoff team, but, what's his name? Now I totally slipped out of my mind. Okay, Brock Purdy. Started his career against the Dolphins. Well, at least we got our revenge. Yay! Season's still alive, blah, blah, blah. Cleveland Browns game. The game against the Texans where Tua got a hip injury. He battled through the Niners game, but didn't battle through against the Browns and the Jets game. Actually, he tried. Actually, matter of fact, Tua did try to play in the Cleveland game. I think he also tried to play in the Jets game as well. But the coaching staff said, no, do not play. I'm like, well, I don't know what to make of it. But Tyler Huntley did play well against the Browns. Although albeit some stupid plays in the first half. But the second half, played pretty good. Not so much with the season finale. January 5th against the Jets, Huntley was awful. He was horrible against the Jets. You should have beaten the Jets, but you didn't. And that's humiliating enough. And then we end the season 8-9. We ended the season 8-9. We finished the season with a losing record. So, what went right? What went right for the Miami Dolphins? So, this is tough. I would say part of our offense was right. I would say the biggest thing that went right is our tight end position, to me at least. Jonnu Smith played great football. He played absolute great football, and that is something we all Dolphin fans should appreciate with Jonnu Smith and what he's capable of. He played good football. No matter what quarterback it was, when he tried his best, he could really be there for him, for the quarterback. Now, no matter if it's Tua, or if it's Huntley, he will be there. So tight end position, played pretty good. Jalen Waddle, I feel like was also pretty good. Hill on occasion, although I've also put him in the what went wrong situation, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. What else went right for the Dolphins? Our defensive line was pretty decent. I mean, the biggest ones here is Calais Campbell and Zach Sealer. Both of them should be re-signed. I mean, especially Zach Sealer. Zach Sealer was the GOAT. He was so damn good on defensive line. And that is something that's probably one of my favorite players on a defensive side. Calais Campbell, too. See, if Calais Campbell make a decision to retire or continue playing, he even said he's going to make a decision on his own time. So whatever, if he's going to play with a different team or the Dolphins, hopefully the Dolphins, he will be that leader for the defense. That's something I feel like that went absolutely right. But that's pretty much, I mean, one more thing I can say is Jason Sanders, when he's consistent, he could be really good. So I think I could put him in a position of what went right. Sanders still a good kicker. But what went wrong? There's a lot that went wrong. First off, the Dolphins' inability to win big games, right? That is something revolving Tyreek Hill dropping the football, Tua not handling the pressure. The offensive O-line is also what went horribly wrong. The offensive line was horribly neglected by our general manager, which you already know by now that he is not getting fired. He's also laughed about it too, which is something that the Dolphins fans do not appreciate at all. And another thing that went wrong for the Dolphins is the fact that, I mean, it's not an excuse, but it did happen. The injuries were just piling up every single week. It was piling up every single week. We already had season enders like Jalen Phillips. Who could forget about Jalen Phillips? He's gone. He's gone after the Titans game from a knee injury. There was one more player. Braxton Berrios was gone. This was after the Colts game. So he's gone. Tua was gone for a while and then right back to being gone late in the season where we needed him most. The injuries were just was just there. Especially with our offense too. You know, see, I mentioned Jalen Phillips for the defensive side. We got some decent defensive depth, but the offensive depth, especially with the quarterback situation, it's fatal. It's proven fatal for the Dolphins offense. When Tua got concussed, Skylar Thompson comes in. Whatever Skylar is trying to play football, even though he was terrible, he got hurt as well after his body slammed. Hence, another reason why our offensive line is terrible. You failed to protect the quarterback. We had 3 injuries with the quarterback situation. Tua, Skylar Thompson, and Tyler Huntley. And the Tyler Huntley injury came at the Colts game, by the way. Okay? And Achane was concussed for about a week. Raheem Mostert was out for the hip. And this is another reason why I would say, too, that another reason I would say with the offensive line, with the injuries, is that our offensive line also keeps getting hurt, too. Terran Armstead is a big example of it. He keeps getting hurt. You're putting contracts on the guys who are past the prime, who can protect the quarterback. This is what I mean. This is what I mean when protecting the quarterback. We need guys that can really protect the quarterback and can really be in, week out. Nick Mangold comes to mind for a different football player who could do that for years. He's gotten old, he gotten hurt, and then this is what's happened. Okay? That's exactly what's going to happen. So what needs to be changed? What change that needs to be made? And what can the Dolphins do to fix the team, and what can really do for the season and beyond? Well, I would say fire Chris Grier, but they're already saying they're not going to do that. So that's out of the window. But if you're Chris Grier and Stephen Ross, this is your last fucking chance. This is your last chance. I'm still calling for a firing. I've been calling it since the Texans game. Actually, before that, really. Because somebody needs to go. So, if you're the general manager, really look at the offensive line situation. Tua needs to be protected. As for Tua, he needs to slide. He needs to slide and not dive down because that's why he's getting hurt. He is an injury-prone quarterback. Now, I begin to question if the contract is really worth it. Okay, I will say that. But if you're the GM, really look at the offensive line, please. Because we have every right to be worried about it. You're the only one who's not, and that's why the team suffered so much of the season. That's what I'm trying to say. Look at the O-line and also look at the secondary because I don't know if Jalen Phillips is going to be there. Kader Kohu, where is he going to go? You know, really look at some players. Re-sign some players. You know, like Zach Sealer, he should be re-signed. Attack a position that needs help. Offensive line, especially the mid linebackers. They need some help too. Who's going to be the depth for Jalen Phillips the next time he goes down? I don't want that to happen. I want Jalen Phillips to be there every week. Really look at the situations right there with the O-line, the middle linebackers, who could really do harm when regarding stopping that little short pass routes. They need help, okay? The defense does need help right there. And also the ability to make a tackle needs to be there as well, okay? The Hurricanes, especially Miami Hurricanes, suffered just as badly. The Dolphins cannot continue that path. It just can't. So, protect the quarterback. Because I know they're not going to make change with Tua. They're not going to. And then also, regarding the offensive line, you can open the lane for the running back, like Achane, who's had a really good season. When you have a good offensive line who can make blocks, I think Achane could have been a lot better. I think that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for content because Miami TVG guys are back. When it does, he'll be right there with you for your entertainment you deserve. This is Miami TVG. Sign off, folks. Good night, everybody.